Oh hey, didn't see you there. What am I doing? Hi, so I live in New England and we have a snow day today. It's snowing a lot outside, so I have nothing to do. So I thought, what else should I do other than make this video that I've been trying to make for a really long time. I haven't made a video in a really long time, so my arms are probably going to do this a lot in the beginning. So this year, I was cast as Maria in The Sound of Music at my school for the musical. This one, The Sound of Music, it was like my dream come true. I've always wanted to be leading a musical, and The Sound of Music is just a beautiful show. Love it so much. So we had a performance 2 weekends ago, and I was interested in making a video about The Sound of Music, but I've decided that I'm going to reenact the Sound of Music musical from what I remember from a week ago, 2 weekends ago. I haven't looked at the material at all or listened to the songs at all since I performed it last, so I'm going to see what happens. So please enjoy me reenacting the Sound of Music musical all by myself in my bedroom. Yep. I didn't really pay attention for this part. In the beginning, they're like chanting, the nuns are chanting something, and then they leave. Where's Maria? I haven't seen Maria. Where has Maria been? I can't find her. I'm right here. I'm in the hills. The hills are alive with the sound of music. And then I'm all like, oh, I'm late. And then I grab my, and I run away. And then the nuns are all on stage with the mother nun. And they're all like, how do you solve a problem like Maria? Maria! And then that's over. We don't really like Maria. I want to get my own opinion. Get out. Hi. I was on my knees most of the night because I was late. And after you've been so kind to give me permission to leave, it wasn't about you being late, Maria. And then we talk. And then she's upset at me for being late. You kept singing that song, and I don't remember it all the way, but you should sing it, like for me. Dope. These are a few of my favorite things. Good job. But you have to leave. What? Why? I like it here. Because you're not meant for this life. You sing too much, and that's not allowed. So we're gonna send you away. To where? To Captain One Trap and his 7 children. I don't like children. Deal with it. See ya. So she's gone. And then I'm all over here like, oh, I'm sad that I have to leave. And then I walk over here, and there's nuns there, and I jump down, and I change really quickly behind the scenes as they're like singing brown paper packet, and I jump up, and I'm like, grab my luggage. I'm like, these are my favorite things. They're like, yeet. And so I walk away. Okay, bye Maria. And then they leave too. I'm like, I'm all alone. What will this day be like, I wonder? I'm nervous, but I have confidence. And I leave. And so he goes over to the door and opens it. And it's like, come in, stay here, and leaves. Then Maria comes in. Maria, she's here in the Von Trapp house. She puts down her bag. I look around. This is a cool place. And I'm all like praying that it will be fine. Captain walks up beside me. Is like, what the heck are you doing sitting on my floor? I'm like, I'm Maria Rayner from the Abbey. He's like, dope. Hey, your dress is ugly. Put on a different one before you meet the kids. I'm like, what's wrong with it? This rip here? That was intentional? This rip right here? Yes. I haven't any other dress. When we enter the Abbey, our worldly clothes are given to the poor. I'll see that you are given some materials so you can make your own dress. Now, the first rule of this house is discipline. Make sure you're good to the kids, so the captain paces and stuff. And I'm here like, okay. And then he blows his whistle. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then the kids come running in, and all 7 of them line up in a row. There's only 6 though. And I'm like, isn't there 7 kids? And then, out of nowhere, Brigida walks in, and Captain's all like, whoosh, get in line. So they all get in line. And he's like, this is your governess. This is your governess. And I'm like, yo. And they don't even look at me because they're like soldiers. And he's like, when you step forward and say your name. And then they're all like, Liesel, Friedrich. And then, so they introduce themselves. And then he's like, use this whistle to whistle at people. And he's walking away. And I'm like, shh, you didn't tell me your whistle sign. He's like, doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, here's your whistle back. I won't need it. I'm like, hey kids, what's going on? And they're like, we don't really like governesses, but okay. And I'm like, okay, I just want to be your friend. Like, want to sing together? And they're like, we don't know how to sing. And I'm like, you don't know how to sing? You don't know how to sing? So y'all go sit on the couch. And I'm like, let's start at the very beginning. Doe, a deer, a female deer, right? A drop of golden sun, me, a name, my car. And then it's over. And it's great. And then we all leave. Yes, we leave. We leave. And then Liesel comes on, and she's with Rolf, and she's like, I'm 16 going on 17. And he's like, I was 17 going on 18. Here's a nice song for you. And then they're like, smooch. And she's all like, yow! And then they run off. The cleaner, the maid, sure, the servant maid. She's like, here's some material for the captain. He doesn't sing because his wife is dead. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, close your window. And walks away. And I'm like, you were right next to the window. Why didn't you just close it? So I pray. And then I see Liesel sneak in. I'm like, bro, what were you even doing out there? And she's like, oh, I was walking. I'm like, yo, like, wash out your dress. And we'll come back here and have a little talk. Because it's raining and there's thunder. And I'm on my bed. And then all the girls run in. And they're like, we're scared. And all the boys run in. We're like, we're scared. And I'm like, maybe if we sing loud enough, we won't be able to hear the thunder. So I get up on my bed. I sing the Lonely Goat Herd and yodel a lot. It's very stressful, and there was a lot of it. And there's a cool dance to it. And then I jump down at the end, and I'm like, woo! And we run off. And the captain comes out with a girl that he likes, and Max. And they sing, but there's no way to stop it. I didn't really pay attention to that because I was changing. So I don't really know what was going on. But they sing that. And then they have an argument. And then Franz is like, comes out, the butler comes out and is like, your call. And then Max is like, okay, see ya. And goes with the lady. So just Captain is there. And then the kids come leapfrogging out. And they bump into the Captain and they're like, hey, we're back. I mean, Dad, you're home. And he's like, whistle, get in line. And they all get in line. And I'm like, yo, what you doing? And he's like, go clean up right now. And he's like, where did you get these clothes that they're now wearing? And I'm like, I made them out of the curtains that were in my bedroom. Because that's what she does. And then he's like, that's not cool. And she's like, maybe if you were nicer to your kids, you'd understand. And he's like, I'm mad at you. And then he hears his kids singing, and he's like, yo, you brought music back into my home. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, you should be sorry. Just appreciate your kids more. And then he like feels bad for me and then leaves, and I'm kind of like, whoa, I kind of like him. But then his girlfriend or whatever comes in, and she's all like, stay away from my man. And I'm kind of like, okay. And then I leave all like cool and stuff. Okay, so there's this party. It's dope. And I walk in and Kurt's like, wanna dance? And I'm like, sure, we're dancing. He does it wrong. So his dad comes in and vibe checks him and is like, get out of the way, son, I'll teach you. So then he does it the right way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he was looking at me. I don't like that. It's too much for me. So I walk away from him. And then Brigida's like, your face is red. And I'm like, I know. It's because I'm in love with him, but I don't know it. So then I leave. And then I come back later, and she's all like, I knew that lady was lying. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you're in love with my dad. And I'm like, no. And then her dad comes in, and I'm like, I'm in love with her dad. And then the dad's like, he says something. And then I am all like, okay, I'm gonna run away. So then I run away, and then I go back to the abbey, which is the nun place, and they all sing for a little bit, like doo doo doo. And then I run back in, and I'm like, Mother, I never want to go back because I'm in love with him. And she's like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I really don't want to go back. And she's like, you got to go back because you're supposed to find the life you were born to live. climb every mountain. And then it's over. That's the first act. End scene. And then act 2 starts, okay? And the kids are all like, oh my god, where is our governess, Maria? Dad's like, don't talk about her anymore. And they're like, but please. And he's like, no. And then he walks away. The kids are all like, I'm feeling sad. Let's sing my favorite things. So they all sing my favorite things, and they're like, why isn't this working? And then I walk in and finish the song with them and sit down my luggage in the right spot because I kept setting it in the wrong spot. But I sit down my luggage, and I'm like, you're right. I'm in the right place after all. And then I'm like, nice to see you kids. Go find your dad. I'm like, Liesel, how are you? She's like, eh. And I'm like, okay. And so then they bring back their dad, and all the kids leave, and I'm just with the dad. And the dad's like, why'd you leave? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it because I heard you're going to marry that girlfriend you had earlier who was trying to, like, get me to leave. And I came back because I'm in love with you, but I'm not going to tell you that right now or whatever. He's like, cool. And so I leave. And then all those 3 come back in. Our lives are important to us. And then they're like, oh my gosh, Captain, I don't love you anymore. And Captain's like, I don't love you anymore. Because we have different views about the Nazis. Captain doesn't like the Nazis, so she's a good guy. So then she leaves like, ugh. And I come in and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, okay, I realize I'm in love with you. I'm like, I'm in love with you too. And we like kiss. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then we sing something good together. Something good or whatever. And then he's like, I want to marry you. And I'm like, let's go find the kids. So we run off together. And then I'm sitting there holding a mirror. And then they're like, oh, lingerie. And I'm like, holy cow, they found my lingerie. And then I'm at the wedding. That was the fastest costume change of my life. I jumped into that wedding dress. So we go to the wedding, and I get all married, and then I drop the ring, but it was an accident. But that doesn't normally happen. So we get married, and then arm in arm, we leave. And then the kids are like, Max, when is our parents going to come home? And Max is like, it doesn't matter. I've signed you up for this concert. And then we come home, and Captain's like, Max, you shouldn't have signed them up for this concert because I don't want my children to sing. And Max is like, why? They're good. And I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? So they all leave or whatever. And then Liesel was like, I see that you're in love with my dad because you definitely treat him well. And I'm like, yeah. And then we sing 16 going on 17 reprise where I'm like, just wait and you'll find the right person. And then Rolf comes in and he's like, won't even look at us. And he gives the thing to Franz because Rolf and Franz are both Nazis. So then they like have a Nazi thing. I'm like, Liesel, don't cry. And then Captain comes in, and Liesel's like, and she runs away. And then I'm there like, yo, what's going on? And Captain comes down, he's like, they want me to serve in the Nazi army. And I'm like, why would you do that? And he's like, we have no choice. Then we hear him outside, they're coming for him. And I'm like, okay, go greet him, I'll go upstairs. So I run upstairs, and I change again really quick because I'm that good. So I change really quick. And then I come back down, and I'm like, Captain, you can't go serve in the Nazi army because we're singing in the concert. And they're like, but you can still do both. What are you talking about? And he's like, okay, we'll just go late. We're really going to run away. So he's like, okay. So he walks away. And then we're like, okay, this is cool. And then the little Nazi guy is like, hey, it doesn't say your name in here. What are you going to sing? And we're like, oh my gosh, we'll sing for you right now. So we sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Liesel, will you give us a do? She says do. And then we sing do, re, mi. And then we're suddenly at the concert, and we sing concert songs, and then Max comes out and is like, guess what? This whole concert is going to end quickly so that Captain can go serve with the Nazis. Captain's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So then we're like, we have a plan to run away. So the plan is we sing So Long Farewell. Every time we say goodbye, kid leaves, kid runs away, kid runs away. Finally, it's just me and Captain, and we run away. And then the Nazis are like, where did they go? Where did they go? And then the curtain opens, and we're back there, like, in the abbey. We're back in the abbey. And the nuns are like, yo, what's good? And we're like, help us hide. And then the Nazis come in, and we hide. And then Rolf sees Liesel, and he calls the lieutenant. And the lieutenant's like, what? And he's like, there's no one here. And then longingly looks at Liesel, and then walks away. And then looks at her again, and walks away. And I'm like, why do you keep looking at her? And then she comes over and hugs me, and I'm like, there. And then I'm like, sorry, Mother Abbess, that we put you in this danger. And she's like, just climb the mountains and you'll be safe. And we're like, cool. And she starts singing Climb Every Mountain for the finale. And we like pat the children's heads or whatever, count them all and get them all in line. And then we walk off stage. So while walking off stage, climb every mountain. And just before I get off stage, I stop, I look back and I'm like, yo, sad that this is over. And then I leave, I walk off. And it's really emotional. That, my friends, is Act 1 and 2 of the Sound of Music musical that I've just reenacted for you. You're welcome. Whew, I'm really out of breath. I'm very glad I made this video. I hope you enjoy the sped up version of the Sound of Music musical. So if your partner ever asks if you actually watched the musical, you can be like, yeah. And then you can watch this video and be like, of course I did. I watched. Remember the part where the nun is all like, dope, which doesn't happen. Don't say that. Shout out to Frau Schmidt. Have a good snow day if you're having a snow day today.